Hello everyone, this is Faye with Sweet Sisters Prints. I am showing another flip through of one of my sister's books that is available on Amazon and also in our Sweet Sisters Prints store in Etsy. This one is called Marvelous Mushrooms, Illustration for Collage, Art, Journaling, Card Making, and ATCs. My sister's name is Lorraine Kay, and you can go ahead and check it out on Amazon or go to our Sweet Sisters Prints shop on Etsy. So we're going to just do a quick flip through of this. And you think, how could anyone have an entire book of mushrooms? But you'll see the pages are incredible. It just makes your mind go crazy with how many good ideas you can use to make your cards and ephemera for your junk journals and collages and art journals. Here's the first page, and look at these wonderful images you can cut out, and you can either fussy cut these out or just use the section as a part of your page, use it as a pocket. And that was obviously the purple, kind of lavender purple ones. Here's some that are leaning more toward the yellow, the gold and green, and they're wonderful sections, good sizes to use on a card or your art journaling pages. Aren't these wonderful? Beautiful colors. And I don't know if you notice as I'm flipping through, the backs of these pages do have a really pretty color print on them also, but it's nothing that you would necessarily want to keep. But what it does is it gives you some pretty color background if you want to use part of it, but you don't have to say, okay, if this is printed on this side and this was printed on this side, on the back side, which one would you cut out? So all of these pages are single-sided, so you can cut out whatever you want. You never have to worry about losing one of the images, because even though the backs are pretty colors, you do have the option of just cutting out the one item. You don't have to worry about losing any of the images. So like this one would make a great bookmark. And this, if it's a house, it's a building. Some little creature, a fairy or something, lives in there. Isn't that wonderful? And these are just beautiful, the green and the blue. It leans toward a teal blue. It's just gorgeous. And these are so cute. And makes you just think you want to go there. And wouldn't it be wonderful to be a little fairy and go climbing around in those? Excuse me. And then here's some more little mushrooms. Here's little mushroom houses. There's a little doorway right in there. And here we have some of the luminescent look and great backgrounds, wonderful backgrounds for your art journaling and junk journaling. And I mean, you could just fussy cut out this one right here, or you could cut the whole thing out. There's just, the possibilities are endless. There's so much to do in these books, so many ideas, and I know that it's hard to sometimes start cutting. You think, oh, it's so beautiful just the way it is. I don't want to cut it up. But, you know, that's what this is about. You decide you want to do a card or a collage or a art or junk journal, make a little ATC. And I had somebody ask me the other day what an ATC was. It's an artist trading card. And so if you just make these little cards to trade with other artists, and like this one here, yes, you can fussy cut this, or you could just use this whole page. And oh, look at these. Aren't these beautiful? So much fun. And here's mushrooms growing out of a typewriter, and one up here, and then some pretty flowers that coordinate with the colors. Just gorgeous. Yeah, these, see, I would totally use these as backgrounds and then put other images from other books and things that we have in our Etsy store, put little fairies or children or a gothic character or something in these, and just use them. Here's a really pretty purple page. And there's one that could just frame this. Just frame it and put it in your whatever room you are using these colors. And then you have these smaller ones. These ones are small like this. You could fussy cut the edges here and then use that as a pocket in a journal. Maybe show you a little closer. Isn't that great? And these are so cute. These would be great to fussy cut. as with these, although then, you know, you lose some of this great background. So there's the dilemma. Do I use a whole section or do I fussy cut it out? But that's part of the fun too, is figuring out how you're going to use these wonderful images. The colors are so incredible. That's one thing my sister's got, the best eye for color. So look at how pretty this is. If you fussy cut around that and put that on a journal page, just amazing. You could even just glue it around the bottom edge and then make that a pocket. Beautiful use of color and detail. She's such a great designer. And some more, these little darker mushrooms, but they're on bright colors. They're just beautiful. Some more gorgeous colors. And some adorable little mushroom houses for fairies or gnomes or elves or any other little creatures that might live in a little mushroom house. These would be fussy cut out. They're so cute. Look at those little black ones. You know, right now it's let's see, the beginning of July, and you know, you may watch this in September. Hopefully someone will watch it in September. But you know, it's gonna get to that time of year pretty soon where we're gonna be making our fall and Halloween journals and cards. So some of these would be really great. Look at all these would be fussy cut out. They're so beautiful. I just love it. I mean, my sister creates these, and you know, she and I talk, and she shows me what she's doing. But even when she does that, and then later on when she brings me the book to look at, and I'm just amazed at how beautiful they are, and she's very talented. So here's the black and white. Great. Some, again, wonderful use of color. So you have such a variety here. It doesn't really matter what kind of a journal or collage you're making. The colors, you know, there's a color in here for everyone. It doesn't matter what color you're using. There's something in here for everyone. So there are those mushrooms and some of those. These would be so fun. Like this one, I can totally picture this one glued around here, and then that would be a pocket. And beautiful flowers and some more flowers. These would be great on a bookmark. And here's some papers. Gorgeous coordinated papers to use in your journaling. And there we are. And that's the end of that one. And this one is Marvelous Mushrooms, Illustrations for Collage, Art, Journaling, Card Making, and ATCs by Lorraine Kay. And you can also find it, your Sweet Sisters Prints. Our Etsy store is Sweet Sisters Prints. But then we individually list our ephemera books on Amazon. Hers are under Lorraine Kay, mine are under Faye Elaine. And if you want to take a few minutes and check them out, we would appreciate it. You can always visit the Etsy store, Sweet Sisters Prints. And I always appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.